Listen carefully. Right now, as you're watching this, there's something out there. Something small, something patient, something that's been waiting for you to slip up, to forget, to disrespect what should never be disrespected. And on one night every year, it comes for those who break the rules. You think Halloween is just candy and costumes? Think again. Tonight, we're going into the darkness to talk about one of horror's most terrifying guardians, a creature that looks like a child but is older than your oldest nightmares. We're talking about Sam, the demon enforcer of Halloween itself, from the modern horror masterpiece Trick or Treat. By the time we're done here, you'll never look at Halloween the same way again. You'll check your pumpkins twice. You'll make sure you have candy ready. Because Sam is real in ways that matter, and the rules he enforces, they're written in blood. So turn off the lights, lock your doors, and whatever you do, don't blow out that jack-o'-lantern yet. It's not midnight.
Michael Dougherty's Trick or Treat hit the horror scene in 2007, but it didn't get the theatrical release it deserved. Instead, it found its audience through word of mouth, through late-night viewings, through people whispering to each other, "You have to see this movie." And now it's a Halloween tradition itself. It's the film you watch every October without fail, because it understands something fundamental that most horror movies forget. Halloween isn't just a holiday, it's a door that opens once a year. The film takes place entirely on Halloween night in Warren Valley, Ohio, a small town where everybody's got secrets, where darkness hides behind picket fences, where the veil between worlds grows dangerously thin. But Trick or Treat isn't your standard slasher. It's an anthology, 4 interconnected stories that weave together like the threads of a spider's web, all observed by one constant presence, Sam. At first, you barely notice him. A small figure in orange pajamas, a burlap sack over his head with button eyes, clutching a worn orange lollipop. He looks like just another trick-or-treater, maybe a kid whose parents made them a homemade costume. Cute even, harmless. But you'd be dead wrong to think that. And some people in this movie learned that lesson way too late.
Here's where it gets interesting, where the folklore gets real. Sam isn't his full name. It's short for Samhain, the ancient Celtic festival that predates Halloween by over 2,000 years. Samhain marked the end of harvest season and the beginning of winter, the dark half of the year. The Celts believed that on this night, the boundary between our world and the other world dissolved. The dead could walk among the living. Spirits, fairies, and demons roamed freely. It was a night of power and danger. And Sam is that night. He's not just some monster. He's the living embodiment of Halloween's ancient spirit, the enforcer of its sacred laws, the punishment waiting for anyone arrogant enough to think these traditions don't matter. Look at him again with that knowledge. Those orange pajamas aren't cute anymore. They're the color of jack-o'-lanterns, of autumn leaves dying, of the flames that ward off evil. That burlap sack, it's like the masks people wore to hide from spirits, primitive and unsettling. And underneath, when the sack finally comes off, well, we'll get to that nightmare fuel later. Sam doesn't speak. He doesn't need to. He watches, he judges, and when you've broken the rules, he acts. The brilliant thing about his character is that he operates on an ancient primal logic that we've forgotten in our modern sanitized version of Halloween. We've turned Samhain into a candy holiday, a dress-up party, something safe. But Sam remembers what it really is, and he's here to remind us.
The movie doesn't just throw random horror at you. Every single death, every punishment, every terrifying moment happens because someone violated Halloween's sacred rules. Let's break them down, one by one, because your life might depend on it. Rule 1. Always wear a costume. This isn't about fashion. This goes back to the original purpose of Halloween costumes, camouflage. The ancient Celts believed that on Samhain, malevolent spirits walked the earth looking for bodies to possess, for souls to snatch, for mischief to cause. So people wore masks and disguises to confuse these entities, to blend in, to make the spirits think they were one of them. It was survival, not celebration. In Trick or Treat, Sam observes everyone on Halloween night, and you know what? Those in costume generally make it through okay. They're showing respect, they understand the game, they're honoring the tradition, even if they don't know why. But the ones who refuse, the ones who treat Halloween like it's beneath them, they catch his attention, and that's the last thing you want. The costume is your protection. It's your acknowledgement that tonight is different, that tonight the normal rules don't apply. Take it off too early, refuse to wear one, and you're exposed, vulnerable, marked. Rule 2. Always give out treats. Trick or treat. 3 simple words, but they contain a threat, don't they? This tradition evolved from souling, the practice of leaving out food and drink for wandering spirits. It was an offering, a bribe, a way to ensure that the supernatural forces passing through would leave you and yours alone. Feed them, appease them, and maybe they'll move on to the next house. Enter Mr. Krieg, the film's most memorable lesson in what happens when you refuse. Krieg is that guy, you know the type, hates Halloween, hates kids, hates joy. He sits in his dark house with the lights off, stealing candy from trick-or-treaters, yelling at them to get off his property. He hoards the candy for himself, violating the fundamental principle of the exchange. And Sam notices. What follows is one of the most intense home invasion sequences in horror cinema. But Sam isn't there for random violence. He's there because Krieg broke the rule. He refused to participate in the social contract of Halloween night. And that cannot stand. The attack is relentless, savage, terrifying. A small figure in pajamas shouldn't be this dangerous, but Sam is pure, concentrated purpose. He's not angry, he's correcting an imbalance. He's enforcing the law. And here's the beautiful, horrifying twist. At the last possible second, during their struggle, a chocolate bar accidentally falls into Sam's treat bag. Krieg has, entirely by accident, given an offering. He's followed the rule. Sam stops immediately. He takes his candy, he leaves. Because it was never personal, it was always about the rules. Rule 3. Never extinguish a jack-o'-lantern before midnight. The jack-o'-lantern is more than decoration. It's a ward, a beacon, a light in the darkness that says, evil spirits go somewhere else. The legend of Stingy Jack tells of a man who tricked the devil himself and was doomed to wander the earth for eternity, carrying only a carved turnip with a burning coal inside to light his way. Irish immigrants brought this tradition to America, where pumpkins replaced turnips, but the purpose remained. These lanterns protect, they guide lost souls, they mark the boundary between the living world and the realm of the dead. Blow one out before Halloween ends at midnight, and you're essentially slamming a door in the face of the spirits, showing contempt for the entire tradition. Emma makes this fatal mistake. She despises Halloween, sees it as a nuisance, can't wait for it to be over. So she starts taking down decorations early, cleaning up while kids are still trick-or-treating, and she commits the ultimate sin. She blows out her jack-o'-lantern. What happens to Emma is brutal and poetic. She violated the protective boundary, and the things the light was keeping away, they come for her. Her punishment is swift, merciless, and entirely earned. The jack-o'-lantern stays lit until midnight, period. That's not a suggestion, that's survival. Rule 4. Respect the dead. This is the big one, the foundational rule that underlies everything else. Halloween exists because of death. It's a night when the living and the dead share the same space, when we acknowledge those who came before, when we honor the boundary that usually separates us. Disrespect the dead on this night, and you're asking for something dark to notice you. The film's Halloween school bus massacre legend is pure nightmare fuel. Years ago, a group of children with special needs were loaded onto a bus by their parents, parents who saw them as burdens, as embarrassments, as problems to eliminate. The bus driver paid off, drove them to an old rock quarry, and let the bus roll into the water. 8 children drowned, murdered by the very people who should have protected them. Now, every Halloween, their spirits return to the quarry, and the chains that bound them to the bus can still be seen hanging from the rocks. A group of teenagers decides this legend makes for perfect prank material. They bring a girl to the quarry, tell her the story, make her wear a costume, and stand in the offering spot, all while laughing and recording it for their own amusement. They're mocking the dead, making entertainment out of murdered children. Sam watches from the trees. What happens next is justice, cold and terrible. The dead don't need Sam to intervene here. They handle it themselves. But he observes, ensures the balance is maintained, makes sure that disrespect is punished as it should be. Because the dead remember, and on Halloween night, they can do something about it.
We need to talk about what Sam really looks like, because it's important. For most of the film, we see him as this small figure in pajamas with a burlap sack head. Creepy, sure, but still somewhat ambiguous. Maybe there's a person under there. Maybe it's just a really committed costume. Then, during his confrontation with Mr. Krieg, the sack comes off. What's underneath isn't human, not even close. It's a grotesque, pumpkin-like head, orange, skull-shaped, with black voids for eyes and a mouth full of sharp, irregular teeth. It's organic, but also plant matter, something that exists in the space between categories. Looking at it, you understand immediately. This is ancient. This is primal. This is a nature spirit, a demon, an entity that predates human civilization. This is what Samhain looks like when it takes form. The reveal is perfect because it confirms everything we suspected. Sam isn't pretending to be the spirit of Halloween. He is the spirit of Halloween, made manifest, given shape and purpose. And that purpose is simple. Maintain the traditions, punish the violators, keep the old ways alive.
Here's why Trick or Treat and Sam became so important to modern horror. They reminded us what we'd lost. For decades, Halloween had been softened, commercialized, made safe. It became about candy and parties and sexy costumes, completely divorced from its origins. The danger was gone, the fear was gone, the genuine sense that this night is different, that tonight you need to be careful, that was gone. Sam brought it back. He represents the duality that makes Halloween work. The fun and the fear, the treats and the tricks, the cute costumes and the genuine danger lurking underneath. He's a trick-or-treater who might murder you. He's adorable and absolutely terrifying. He's everything Halloween should be. The anthology format of the film reinforces this perfectly. We see how Halloween's rules apply to everyone. The teenager, the parent, the old man, the party girl. No one is exempt. No one gets a pass. The town of Warren Valley becomes a testing ground, and Sam is the examiner, watching every single resident to see who passes and who fails. Most fail, and that's the point. We've forgotten the rules. We've lost the knowledge our ancestors had, the understanding that some nights are dangerous, that some traditions exist for reasons that go deeper than nostalgia. Sam is here to teach us again, with violence if necessary. Trick or treat has become a genuine cultural phenomenon. Sam appears on merchandise at Halloween events in costumes every October. A sequel has been promised for years because people need more stories about this character. But why? Why has this small demon in footy pajamas captured our imagination so completely? Because he's the embodiment of consequences in a world that increasingly pretends actions don't have consequences. He's the old rules asserting themselves in a modern age that thinks it's moved past them. He's the reminder that some things are bigger than us, older than us, and completely indifferent to whether we believe in them or not. Break the rules of Halloween, and Sam will come for you. Not because he's evil. He's not. He's something far more terrifying than evil. He's neutral. He's inevitable. He's the law itself, walking around in a child's costume, carrying a blade made from a lollipop.
So here's what you need to remember when Halloween comes around. Wear your costume the whole night. Don't take it off early because you're uncomfortable or hot or ready for bed. Wear it until midnight strikes. Give out candy. Don't be stingy. Don't turn off your lights and hide. Participate. Give generously. Honor the exchange. Keep your jack-o'-lantern lit. Let it burn until Halloween is truly over. Those flames are protecting you from things you can't see. And respect the dead. Always, but especially on Halloween night when they're so very, very close. Because Sam is watching. Maybe not your house this year, maybe not your street, but he's out there somewhere, making sure the traditions are honored, making sure the balance is maintained. And if you break the rules, if you show disrespect, contempt, cruelty on this sacred night, well, he's got all the time in the world to teach you better. The next time you hear a knock at your door on Halloween night and you see a small figure in orange pajamas with a burlap sack head, you give that kid the best candy you have. You smile, you honor the tradition.
because it might not be a kid at all. It might be something much, much older, testing you one last time. And trust me, you don't want to fail that test. Always check your candy, always follow the rules, and never, ever forget, Halloween isn't just watching you. Halloween is judging you. Sam sees everything, and on one night every year, he decides if you've been naughty or nice. Stay safe out there, stay respectful, and stay spooky. What's your favorite Halloween tradition? What rule do you think is most important? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of horror's greatest modern icons, hit that like button and subscribe for more horror content that goes beyond the surface. Until next time, keep your pumpkins lit.